Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to rip out the old irrigation manifold system. It's leaky and it's inefficient. So we're going to move some of the components around within the system and then also install some new stuff to make sure it does not leak in the future.
I wanted to show you what this looked like before we rebuilt it. This was out in the walkway, it was a mess of parts, and it definitely needed to be rebuilt.
We're going to reconnect here and redo this whole manifold. I'm freaking over this.
What prompted all this was a broken water service main going into the house, and that led me to see what tomfoolery was under the ground right next to the house. All these roots had found the little leaks all over the system, and so I decided it definitely needed to be replaced.
Okay, first let's take a look at the old manifold here. They use threaded risers for the T's and the bottom. For me, I don't want anything threaded underneath the ground. So everything that's underneath the ground is going to be a slip connection in our new riser. So the other thing is not straight. If any of you have OCD like me, yeah, that kind of gets to me. So with that, we're gonna rebuild this whole thing. I am gonna spread these out a little bit. I'm not really worried about putting it in a pre-made box, like a irrigation box. I will make one if I want to. With that, when you're installing this type of thing, where it goes around your house, obviously you're going to want to access your as close to your water main as possible, the main service coming into your house. That just reduces the amount of friction loss and you get more efficiency out of your water system that way. So think about the climate you're in, and then that will let you know about, how you're going to install your system as well. So with me, I'm going to install the system underneath the chimney little knockout area. I don't know what to call it. There's a little bump where chimney comes out of the house, and I'm going to do it under there. That prevents freezing, keeps it out of the sun. Really, this side of the house doesn't have too much sun anyways. And then all of the other stuff, this is where it was about where it was located before. I'm just kind of reducing the amount of mess in the area. So, all right. So starting off here, I'm going to lay everything out first, and then we're going to put everything together. That way, one, we've got everything, and then two, you've got all your cuts made. You can kind of just stick everything together. So these are equal length, making sure that these are all going to be spread out equally. I have new valves here. These are anti-siphon valves, 3/4 inch and orbit. I found these down at Home Depot. I wanted to have a company that they sell at Home Depot. That way I can go down and pick up any rebuild parts, a diaphragm or what have you, down there instead of searching around online or whatever. So I'm going to use these. They're threaded, therefore I've got my threaded adapters for up top. Also, I'm using a union on one of the sides. This will allow me to disconnect that union, and then I'll be able to spin one side off. If not, then I would have to cut the pipe, pull it all apart if I had to replace the whole valve body itself.
Once you have all your fittings cut, go ahead and start pressing them all together, gluing them all together rather, And then also do this on a flat table. This will allow you to keep everything straight and in line.
All right, now on to our threaded couplings. We're gonna put on each of these tops, we'll put a 3/4 inch threaded coupling. This will allow us to spin on our valves, our new anti-siphon 3/4 inch sprinkler valves. And then I've left enough room here for them to spin around. More than enough, really. Now that we've got all this set up here, we are going to put our valves on. So make sure you're looking at the direction of the flow. I know that goes without saying, but I just gotta say it. And also, we are not using Teflon tape or pipe thread tape. We're using pipe thread sealant. It's like pipe dope. This is going to seal a lot better and for a lot longer. That's because it has a picture of this monster on it, and we know monsters are strong. So 3/4 inch in, up, through, down, out, 3/4 inch union, collar up, right, and then 3/4 inch pipe will end up coming out. Let's just use this for reference. Let's say this is threaded, this is a piece of 3/4. This will be kind of like that, but different, right? I'm gonna have little shorter pieces here. These other ones, I am cleaning up everything, and all of the pressure reducers and everything will be closer to where the water's applicated. This is gonna allow for better flow through the whole system up until that point. So you're gonna get more efficiency, right? So you have less stuff that's going through until it gets out to the point of application. So that relates to time. Now we're kind of getting into the weeds of it, but if you reduce its pressure, it's going to take more time for the water to reach wherever it's going to be used. Let's not reduce it until it gets down to that point, and that will allow for a faster application. So when that timer turns on, then it will reach the emitter sooner. Did I say that all right? I think so. So these unions can be put together incorrectly. This is how it will end up going. Right, we have our threaded, which will go into the end here, and then it's going to come down to the union where that will be able to be separated for service. Right, so if you put this union together, and let's say you forget to put the collar on here, you can't put it over either way. So make sure it's okay to stick that thing on without the collar, but make sure at the other end you have the collar on before you slip whatever else on there. If you do have a 90 in there, not gonna work. I don't think. Probably, maybe not. Let's try. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So there you go. Alright, there we have it. I have successfully built our sprinkler manifold. Now it is time to put it in the hole.
After I put the manifold in the hole, I connected all my irrigation to all the unions and then tested the system for leaks.